You know, Will Wright originally envisioned The Sims as some sort of life lesson, where despite the constant upgrades to your Sim's life, it was ultimately all for naught. New appliances would break, houses could burn, Sims could even die. Oh, could they die? But the point was, while these small people toil away on their meaningless little tasks, their actual lives are wasting away. Apparently, we're still grasping with the finer points, because The Sims was so dang fun to play, there's been a boatload of sequels, spin-offs, and oh so many expansions. Which is why we turned to you, dear viewer, and asked, what careers does The Sims 4 still need? The answer surprised even us. So let's dig in. Starting off is Nikki, who has a few questions about the whole process. Quote, I've always wondered why it was only a certain selection where you can join your Sim. I feel like they need to make more opportunities with different careers to join your Sims. End quote. It's a reasonable question, Nikki. After all, we're into 4 main Sims games at this point. Why haven't they included more jobs to begin with? And that boils down to the complex and often unrewarding process known as game development. Kidding, of course. But ask any developer why this or that is missing, and you're likely to get a lengthy story. But it can range from the idea being too complex or time-consuming, from the end result even into the late game being just too boring to put in. So if we're seeing something in the game, you can only imagine how many times the developer has seen the same thing. But a good question. Up next we have Vesnos, who says, quote, firefighter. I love the career in Sims 3, and I wish I could do it in The Sims 4. End quote. Vesnos, we're gonna be honest. When we read this reaction, we thought there was some mistake. We could swear we played as a firefighter in Sims 4, but you're absolutely correct. Firefighters are always near and dear to Sims fans due to the aforementioned burning of appliances and homes, and the mechanics are all there. And we've already done this in Sims 3. Call us stumped. This seems like a slam dunk, and we're surprised to see it's still absent to this day. We have another response, this time from Shaina, but see if you can catch a pattern that's emerging. I like the Slacker and Daredevil careers from the original Sims, and I would like to see them come back in some capacity. End quote. Yes, this is from the more cartoony days of The Sims being a sort of self-parody, but you can't deny the entertainment value of The Sims 3, and its many different types which may not make logical sense. I mean, how does a Slacker even make money? But having these introduced into The Sims 4 would certainly flip the vibe, and we would welcome that. We also have a message from Keenley, who says, quote, what about a child development career like a social worker or a daycare owner? End quote. And we gotta say, Keenley, this is a sweet answer. On the one hand, it seems like the perfect idea given babies are already in The Sims 4. On the other hand, the idea of being a social worker in a Sims video game? Well, are there any indie developers listening out there? Because that sounds like one heck of an idea we'd play day one. Lauren had a similar answer, quote, principal, they had the perfect opportunity too. I'm only saying this because May Prescott is my favorite Sim. End quote. Again, we thought this actually happened with the high school years expansion, as a lot of fans did believe this would potentially be included. Instead, you get May Prescott in Sims 4, which is cool, but Lauren is right. The materials are there. It just needs to be more centralized around the player. Up next, we have Cody, who looked into the Matrix and solved the problem. Quote, trade. Some we can actually attend. Welder, mechanic, plumber, electrician, builder, truck driver, etc. End quote. See, Cody is quite literally solving the game right here. As previously discussed, the things in The Sims break because it's meant to display the chaotic nature of life. But if your Sim could actually own the means of production, either you'd never leave your house because you'd be so busy fixing things, or you'd never see your own home because you'd be at other Sims' house fixing their stuff. Either way, it's a wild idea, and we'd love to see it tried. And last, but far from least, is Amanda, who hit us up with a full list. Dentist, therapist, psychiatrist, nurse practitioner, phlebotomist, dog trainer, classical musician, news anchor, college professor, work-from-home artist, daycare owner, owning and operating a pizzeria, hotel resort owner, midwife, paper route for kids and teens, firefighter, social worker, physical therapist. There's a lot of cool careers they haven't even hinted at. End quote. Again, we love the creativity here and wonder what some of these careers would play like. Would a phlebotomist be more resilient to seeing blood? Would a paper route include an operating newspaper in town? Could we make the art ourselves from the work-from-home artist? Amanda's right. The Sims is a whole world to take on, and it's often not the most dynamic jobs that make for the most interesting Sims. But you've heard from us. Why not continue the conversation below? Which Sim career do you want to see in the next update? Just pick one. We know it's tricky, but we want to hear exactly how it would play. So let us know in the thread below, and we can't wait to read more of your answers. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video, so thank you to everyone who left us an answer. You always seem to come up with some new ideas we haven't thought of before. Keep clicking around here on Game Rant, and we'll see you next time.